Hey everyone, we're going into our first match with our pretty sweet blue-red spells deck in a draft league. Looks like we just got an opponent, actually. So that didn't take very long. Right now there's tons of people playing it. I think that helps. There's over 2,000 people, so I think sometimes it may take a little while longer in draft leagues. But yeah, so we'd like to play first. Okay, I think this hand's good. Despite the lack of a Thermo Alchemist, we do have a Homunculus. It's not an amazing hand, certainly, but it's fine. We have 2-drop, 3-drop. I don't think our deck's going to do that all that often, so I'll take it. We have some card draw, which is good for our... Well, I guess both of these draw us cards. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and play the Homunculus. Maybe it just eats a Galvanic Bombardment. It doesn't seem to. I think if I probably don't cast Take Inventory until I literally have nothing else to do, because I can get way more value out of it if I have one of my triggers in play. Although I can cast it for cheaper right now. I guess that's something. We have all the colors we need. Okay, Tormenting Voice. Well, it looks like we're probably just going to get in for one here with our Homunculus. Some Homunculus beats here. Well, there's Take Inventory number 2. I can actually cast them both this turn. But I can next turn too. I think it's better to just play another body right now. So we're just going to get in for one. We can actually cast Pour Over the Pages next turn if we want. But I think we probably go first Take Inventory, maybe second Take Inventory. And then Pour will make it so this guy will transform. When does he transform again? Upkeep. Okay. Good to know. All right, Blood Mad. Well, luckily we have a card that blocks that really well and draws us a card in the process, so I'm not overly concerned about that. Okay, so I'm going to cast Take Inventory. I guess I could have poured and then used the first Take Inventory. Ooh, Jace's Scrutiny is pretty fun here. I think we leave Jace's Scrutiny up and just pass the turn. I think that's the plan. So it looks like our opponent probably is a Madness heavy. Ooh. Well, that's annoying, but the good news is Jace's Scrutiny doesn't care. It's going to be a little bit of a problem later, although we do have bounce spells at least, but Jace's Scrutiny here will still get us a kill, so... Yeah, Blood Mist on Blood Mad is pretty good. Okay, wait, oh. I don't want this to be like that, or that like that, but it's still going to work out for us, but... At least I think it's going to. Yeah, I was going to say, it should let us. So we're going to go Jace's Scrutiny here. We'll just kill this vampire. Get a clue. This is where we want to be. We're up to 2 cards, so next turn we can basically make it so our Homunculus transforms, either by casting Pour or Take Inventory. And then our Homunculus will actually be a threat, which will be nice for us, I think. Okay, well, now we have a different threat, but I think we probably still go for... I think we cast Pour here. Then untap 2 lands, and then we can take Inventory. Yeah. It's a lot of card draw. Yeah, we won't use the Homunculus yet. We're just going to use Pour here. Draw some more gas. Hey, there's a Thermo Alchemist. So do we want to play that instead now? The answer might be yes. I mean, this is going to transform now. I think we do want to play the Alchemist like ASAP. So I think we're just going to swing for 3 here and play Alchemist. Because the Alchemist is kind of our primary win condition. And we want to get as much value as we can out of our spell triggers when we can. And now that we have an Alchemist, I think we just play it. And we have the 3 instants or sorceries we need. That's what we need, right? Yes. And then he'll transform into a threat and make all our spells cheaper next upkeep if he doesn't kill it. So that feels pretty good. Especially if he has to use some expensive removal to kill it, although it is a 1/1, so the chances of that aren't huge, I guess. We still have a clue as well. So that's good. What do you have here, sir? Or madam? I find myself using sort of gendered pronouns when I shouldn't on Magic Online, because gender could be either. Okay, well that does not concern me at all, really. And I don't think it should. It's just a vampire. That's all you got. Sounds good to me. He transforms. Things might be about to get... Ooh, now they are going to get crazy, aren't they? Ping. So our take inventories each cost 1 now. So let's cast one of them. So he becomes a 4/5. It'd be better if we could knock this guy out of the way, of course, but what are you going to do? Second homunculus. That seems pretty nice. But we're definitely going to cast... We're going to play this island and cast another take inventory. I guess we'll ping him first. Cast another take inventory. Voracious Reader gets bigger. Ooh, this is living the dream right here, you guys. We'll do 1 to our opponent. So the question is, do I cast another take inventory now that I'm now that I've already spent the mana? Because I'm gonna draw 4 cards now. It's probably better to actually play. Probably not better to do it, which now means I have this tapped for like no good reason. So that's a little less than ideal. But yeah, I don't know. We're gonna. I think we cast another take inventory. The problem we are probably going to encounter, though, is that we don't have that much... we're not going to have any blue mana left, but maybe we hit our Galvanic Bombardment, can just burn this guy out of the way, and that would be pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, we can just discard lands. We don't need lands, right? So that's nuts to do. That's what happens with them, though. When you only have a 20-card deck and you have 4 take inventories, you're gonna draw into them eventually. All right. Well, another Thermo Alchemist is pretty good, but not what I was looking for. We're going to swing with both our 6/7 and our 2/2. We'll just take 6, I think. So, well, I guess I'm going to leave my 2/2 back. Yeah. All right. You have a trick or something? No. Works for me. Thermo Alchemist. Yeah, we just discard lands here, and probably mountains is what we want to discard. Well, a mountain. Because we have been kind of hurting for more blue. Okay, that's a little less than ideal, but I feel like we can kill him before it will kill us. Thanks to the double Thermo Alchemist thing we have going on. Of course, right now we actually don't have a spell. We are going to draw 2 cards here, one off the clue and one that we get off the top of our deck. Okay, now we drew one, and it's a pretty good one. That may just be... No, he'll get a zombie out of it, so it's not quite going to be game. I guess we'll crack our clue first, also. Okay, well, now it might just be... So we're going to go just the wind. So he gets a zombie. These guys on tap. You get your prowess. He gets a zombie. But we can bounce the other zombie, which we'll do if this is lethal. I'll look in a second if it is. I think it probably is, between the double Thermo Alchemists triggers and everything. So... You go to his hand. We ping him down to 8. Yeah, this will be lethal because this will be this alone. Yeah, so we're just gonna the wind the zombie now. And that was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome game where we just, I mean, hitting all 4 take inventories the way we did with a Voracious Reader and a Thermo Alchemist in play was pretty messed up. Yes, it was. So, what else do we have? I mean, we got our Ember Eye Wolf. Doesn't seem especially good here. Homunculus doesn't either. So, those are really our only cards. Like, if we really want to have more 2-drops, which I guess maybe we don't really, because we have so many already. But yeah, I think we just leave our deck as is. We don't have a good sideboard, unfortunately. Stensia Banquet might actually be playable in this deck, just because we have so many spell triggers, but probably still isn't. All right, this hand's a little less than ideal. I may send it back. We do have a 3-drop and a way to interact early, which aren't things that I mind, but the lack of early action is a little disconcerting. I think I'm going to send it back. The 5 lands is pretty bad. Right, well, this isn't much better, but now it got a little better. We actually don't have any spells right now, surprisingly, but we're likely to draw them. We have more spells than creatures, so... We do have 2-drop, 3-drop, 5-drop, I guess. Homunculus was kind of an all-star that game after he transformed anyway. Let's see what our opponent has here on turn 2. Fury Blade, okay, well, that could beat us up pretty good before we can do anything about it. Ooh, well, now it can't really. I think I still play the Homunculus first, just to get him out there so we can ramp into another spell or something if we want to. But now we can just bombard this. Of course, maybe it lets him madness something out now, which like a twins, that wouldn't be very good for us. So maybe I should have just bombarded it right away. Like if he can play the twins here, we're going to be kind of upset. And it is a common, so it's pretty likely our opponent has at least one in his vampire-heavy deck. Nope. I like that. Too bad you can't add mana of any color, because then I would also be able to play my Niblis of Dusk. But that's okay. Ooh. That's a card we wish we had, and it's so good against what we have in our hand right now. We can't really do anything about it. Our deck doesn't have a lot of good ways of dealing with that. Okay, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and cast Galvanic Bombardment. Yeah, just to avoid... We know our opponent has Blood Mad Vampire and Friends, and that doesn't sound great for us. And then I'm also going to cast Take Inventory. I guess maybe casting it first would have been a little better. So we're up to 2 instants or sorceries. So if we get one more, we'll be out of range of this thing, but all he has to do is play a spell now, and it eats our Curious Homunculus. So this does the same to our Niblis. So that's not especially good news for us. We didn't see a lot of spells out of our opponent last game, so maybe we'll just get lucky and he doesn't have very many, and he won't just be able to eat all our X1s. Okay. Not a spell, so I feel like that's a win. Probably shouldn't, but since it still attacks well on this board. Okay. Well, interesting. So we can get the spell in our graveyard, so he'll transform next upkeep, but we can't actually succeed in killing anything, so I don't know that it's worth it. I'm pretty sure it's not worth it. I think we play the Niblis. And I could cast Avacyn's Judgment here just to hurt our opponent to make sure he'll transform, but it does, like I said, it doesn't seem worth it. Granted, next turn we may not want to cast it because we may just want to play our Outcast, but... Yeah, it doesn't seem worth it still. Be really good against us right now. Like, the reason I didn't want to do it is because in a world where I use it to just hit our opponent for 2 to make sure he transforms and gets out of range of this, if my opponent just kills it, I've pretty much wasted a card. And that's a likely scenario since any instant or sorcery kills this guy right now. So it's... If I were just being, like, scared because I was concerned my opponent might have something that could kill it, it would be a different thing. But it's just so likely, given the board. Yeah, see? Now one of them's dead for sure, and probably the Homunculus. We need some Thermo Alchemists to just block these guys all day. Wow, you're going that route. Maybe he has another spell. I'm just going to kill both of them. It's a real possibility. Too bad this isn't an instant. But again, it doesn't really do anything right now, so... I guess if we draw a Pour over the pages, you can discard it and still do 2, even... Oh no, you have to have 6 mana for that. Well, with this we do have 6 mana. Well, we're going to take 3. At this point, I think we're just playing our Outcast. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Just give us a big monster out there who can stand up to these guys, because our poor homunculus can't do it. All right. Six mana. I'd love to draw a bounce spell, like a tempo spell that both transforms him and does what I need to happen right now. Like, but, you know, we did draw into a Galvanic Bombardment and a take inventory after we had a starting 7 that had no spells, so I can't complain too much. Ooh. Wait. I mean, okay. I guess that means you... Oh, no, that will kill it with Weaver of Lightning. Damn. Yeah, that's big. Kills our dude as well. So we basically need to draw into some card draw, or we're just going to get overwhelmed here, most likely. Although, these aren't the scariest of creatures. They can't kill us incredibly quickly. Okay, good. That's what we wanted. We're going to take inventory here. Okay. Then I think we're going to play Mercurial Geists. This thing has reach, it's worth noting, but we finally have an instant, so an instant will be much better with Mercurial Geist than a sorcery. This is more card draw too, so I like that as well. With 4 take inventories and a Pour, our chances of drawing card draw were decent. Here's this thing again. Last time this came down, we were so far ahead, it was sort of like, you know, whatever. I'm not too concerned about this situation. But this time, I am concerned about it, I have to say. Okay. Do I just cast a main phase Fortune's Favor here and see what we can get? That might be the answer. Although if I cast it as an instant, I guess I can at least, like, block something. Like, I could kill this if it attacked, at least. And depending on what I get, I guess I could even kill that. We're at 7 mana, so let's still have 3 mana available. Might just be better to cast Fortune's Favor. Main phase here. So that we can do more with this specific turn. But I can't block as effectively if I do that. Yeah, I guess I'll hold on to it. And use it as a trick of sorts to pump our Mercurial Geists to 4-3. Actually, we will be able to kill this in combat with the help of Fortune's Favor. So that's probably what we'll do. Because when we cast it, this will drop to 4-4. Yeah, I think that's the plan. He still gets a zombie out of it, but I guess we can Avacyn's Judgment it and hope we get some sweet stuff with Fortune's Favor. Yeah, it's so hard to know which pile to pick with this. At least you get to see one of them. I guess if your opponent put them into 2 face-down piles, that would be even more of a pain. Okay, he's going to Madness something out, it looks like. And drop me to 10 in the process. Yeah. Blood Mad Vampire it is. We can at least kill that with Avacyn's Judgment, so we have that going for us. This will drop this low enough that now we'll actually, our Mercurial Geist will survive combat with it at least too, so I like that. We go to 10. Question is, does he swing with the thing? Bloodhall Priest, really? God, our opponent has some scary cards. That's a real problem too. I mean, yeah, I don't like that. We're pretty much dead. We're gonna try to get out of this, but the chances are slim. Our opponent decided to ping us there with it, so he'll drop to a 2/2 now. I think it's probably still right to block him if he attacks with it. He's not going to, though. We're going to cast Fortune's Favor here and pray, I guess. Yeah. Fortune's Favor. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can imagine helping us considerably here is if we can Madness out Avacyn's Judgment, and we're just not going to be able to do enough even if we do. Like, Pour Over the Pages will cost 5, so I'll only be able to do like 3 damage with it, which is nowhere near enough. So we do not have a real answer to what our opponent has going on. This early Weaver of Lightning is what really destroyed us, destroyed our early plays. So our opponent has to sort of decide. The trick with this card, I guess, is to make the the pile that has 2 cards face up look better. And I don't know what the trick is. It's a hard card to play against, or to play for that matter. And he's taking his time organizing them. So where are these piles? I'm hearing like the sound effects like, oh, I guess it's just each individual card. Or is this card glitched out? I guess like most stack cards, both players usually see all of them, so it can't actually show them to me. So I'm hearing the sound effects like my opponent is showing them, like switching cards between piles, but I don't actually get to see. I think I'm going to pick pile 2. Pile 1 just isn't going to do it for me right here. I mean, I guess investigating draws me a card at least, but choosing pile 2. Okay, well, pile 1 might have been a little better. So, what do we do here? We can unsubstantiate something now. I don't think we want to. Yeah, maybe we do. Definitely not Bloodhall Priest, though. No. Well, there's a Thermo Alchemist, but I think it's too late. We're just dead. There's no reason. I mean, I guess he saw these cards, and he knows we have this card, so I guess maybe we should just play it out, see what our opponent does. Yeah. It's not like he's getting any information that he didn't already have, I guess. So we're going to kill this. No point in doing in damage. I guess I can do 1 to him too. Why not? Gives him yet another zombie token. So I actually managed to survive a turn here. No, there's no way. This will be dead, this will be gone, but I'll have 5 zombie tokens, so. I guess he didn't know we had Avacyn's Judgment. I guess that's the information we gave him. Okay. Still leaves us with unsubstantiated. He swings with all 5 of these. That's 10. Yeah, we're just dead. I don't really see a way out of here. I mean, this, if he gets the card in his hand out of his hand, this will also ping for 2 in the process. Now, if we get something we can unsubstantiate, like it costs enough, maybe we have a chance. Nah, he's just going to empty his hand, dropping us to 8. Ooh, Fiery Temper too. Yeah, we're done. All right. That one went much differently than game 1. So I don't think we change anything. I think we just roll with this and hope that we get an early Thermo Alchemist this time. Or an early Flipped Homunculus. Let's do this. Game 1 we were like dominant and amazing, and game 2 we were kind of not doing much. Ugh. This is kind of a not doing much kind of hand. At least Press for Answers replaces itself. But I think I still have to send it back. Just like, if we keep drawing lands, it's just so bad. Okay, this is much better. I'm glad we sent that one back. If we can keep our Thermo Alchemist alive, we're going to be pretty happy. It blocks a lot of his early creatures, which was something we just couldn't do in the last game. Yeah, we'll take it. We also have Avacyn's Judgment, which can kill some of his early creatures. So, and we're also on the play, so we get to play our Thermo Alchemist probably before he's committed anything to the board, which is always nice. Also means he can probably block pretty well in the early going. All right, so we're going to play Thermo Alchemist number 1. And end our turn. Okay, well, I think I probably just fire off Avacyn's Judgment and kill that thing. Flying isn't something I'm interested in dealing with. So we're going to do 1 to our opponent. 1 to our opponent. Get rid of this Vampire Lord. That's also like relevant in his deck, so drops him to 18, kills the dude, and we'll end our turn. Come on, take inventory. Draw me into second take inventory. Let's just chain them all together again. Aw, man. That's not good news for us. No, it isn't. Well, that's not terrible, though. I think we take inventory. All right. Not bad. At least we have some ways to interact in our hand. I don't have a single card with Delirium, and yet it's still informing me of card types. Ooh. Can I afford to have a land tap down? I don't really want to. I think we just make him recast that. Please give me a land. Well, not a land, but not something I mind a whole lot either. Drawing 2 cards for 2 mana. Okay. Not bad. Probably plays his Innkeeper now and takes us off of red. And this time it happens. But we drew red anyway. But he is keeping us from playing our Outcast. But I'm going to play the Cultist here. We'll leave mana up for Galvanic Bombardment in case he plays something we want to bombard. I mean, I guess we could technically bombard and block, but I'm not so worried about Stenzia Innkeeper that I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, we'll just take this. Pyrehound. What? This guy took some of our cards. Well, except we're not actually in the same draft, most likely. Keep forgetting about that. Okay, well, that doesn't concern me. The Pyrehound does, though. It's going to take some work to take him down, most likely. Well, maybe not that much work. I think we just play our Outcast, leave mana up from Bombardment, and end our turn. So Scrutiny's pretty good against the Pyrehound, but the problem is his toughness is still going to be pretty high. Like, all our opponent has to do is cast 2 spells, I guess, and Pyrehound is well outside our range of being able to kill. We can bounce him, though. We do have bounce that will be useful. That we have. So we still have 2 Thermo Alchemists left. Kill spell. Uh-oh. Feels like a kill spell. Yeah, and it's a super good one. Well, actually, it doesn't kill my guy this turn. Oh, yes, it will. No, it won't. It'll make him a 1/1. So, It sucks, but it's not the end of the world for us. Oh, he's got something else. God. That's not cool. Our opponent is drawing very well, unfortunately for us. And we just do not, we can't like do anything. We're going to block a Wailing Ghoul, I guess. Go to 10. Game 1 was just such a different game. Like now we're just like not drawing anything useful. Ugh. Painful. Painful, painful, painful. All right. I think we're probably losing this game. Our opponent has some stupid powerful cards like Dark Salvation that we just didn't see in game 1, and that really hurts us. Pyrehound having Trample really hurts us. So we are in not great shape, despite how sweet our deck seems to be. I think we're going to end up using Scrutiny here. We can actually use Fortune's Favor first, so I guess I'll do that. The bad part about it is our opponent like knows what we have in our hand after we cast it, but we're going to do it anyway. Do we want to leave mana up for Bombardment too? Like we kill one of these. Maybe we do. We can block with our Cultist on 1 and draw a card. Is that worth it though? I don't think that's worth it really. We're probably just going to block this. We can just Bombardment that, one of those. Yeah. I think if we want to have any hope of winning, though, we're going to have to gain a bunch of cards here. So I think I am going to go with Fortune's Favor. I think I am. Yeah, our opponents had removal at like the ideal times in games 2 and 3, and it's just been... Our deck can't survive a lot of good removal because we just don't have that many creatures. So let's see what he gives us here. Ooh, interesting. Well, Just the Wind is so good against Pyrehound, but the other 3 cards... I have Jace's Scrutiny to ignore Pyrehound for a turn, so I think I'm choosing pile 2 here. Oh, our opponent got us. That's rough. That's rough. Okay, so I think we're going to have to... We got to draw a bunch of cards. We got to find some answers here. See what else our opponent does here. We're also going to go Scrutiny. That Just the Wind would have been so good. I should have just gone with it. So we're going to take 6 here. We do draw 1 card and then 1 off the clue, but we just don't have anything that saves us in this situation. I don't think. Opponent may have Pump right now that he's thinking about using. Yeah, I mean, we're going to kill one of these, draw a card. He still has 7, 8, 10 power out there, and we're going to 4 right now, so it's not looking great. The good news is we can still just win rounds 2 and 3, which I think we have a good chance of doing. I think this deck is pretty good, and still finish in the prizes, so... Well, if there's a card that can help me get out of this, it might be Pour. See what else our opponent drops here, though, to make us really sad. If I can Pour over the pages into a Just the Wind, I mean, that's still not amazing, though. Ugh. That is not what I wanted to see. Okay. Yeah, we're going to Clue. Wow. Yeah. I think we're dead. I don't think there's anything we can do, really. Well, we drew Just the Wind, but that's not going to do it. It's not going to cut it. We're still dead. So we shall concede. That was really disappointing after how amazing our match 1 was to see us just sort of sputter in matches 2 and games 2 and 3 the way we did. But we're going to try to win the next 2. Our opponent just, started just playing all kinds of stuff and killing every creature we possibly played. So Not good for our deck that has very few creatures in it. All right, so we're going to try to win our next 2 matches and still finish in the prizes, especially because I think this deck is fun to watch, especially when it goes off like it did in the first match. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.